it's me, GV, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the majesty of Baldur's Gate 3! 100%! We are in the midst of the camp, of the encampment. If you'd like to see more of this series quicker, you can like the video, you can leave comments, you can also support on Patreon. $5 gets you access to my secret channels as well as your name in the credits at the end of the video. Check that out. Well, let's talk to Lae'zel. What's up, girl?
Speak.
Quickly. I wish she just said speak. That would be far more towards her personality. You said I've earned your respect. So why are you so rude all the time?
If you must know, Vlaakith requires everything of her children. I can't count how many bruises I've inflicted. Can't measure how much blood I've drawn in the Undying Queen's name. I know only blood red and death black. My mind is silver, and my body steel. I am what I must be, say what I must be, to survive every beast I face and every wound I bear.
Yeah, fair. Those dreams linger in my memory. Do you think that strange figure will come back?
It is a certainty. I had assumed our parasites served a Geich elder, but I believe they serve a greater master still.
A greater master? Who or what could that be?
A question that burns in my belly day and night. Elders and collectives abide by their own tenets. It would require a powerful creed to unite them. And now this voice, this creed, finds our own ears. If it reaches this plane, it may reach others.
About your quarrel with, Shadowheart.
It is over where I am concerned.
Can I trust you not to cause more trouble?
I will not be bearing the burden of the half-elf's deceit. She was the source of strife. I was the end of it. I suggest you turn your eye of judgment to her.
I don't have an eye of judgment. Any chance of sharing our bunks again anytime soon?
Perhaps, if I'm in need of relief. Until then, I'll enjoy watching you squirm from the anticipation of it.
Oh my. Oh my. I'm ending our fling, if one can call that. Have you thought about making use of the tadpole's powers?
Mark my words. This power would be no blessing, but a curse. You might as well ask me to gouge out my eyes for the promise of sight, or slice off my tongue for the promise of taste. Consume all the Geich tadpoles you wish. I'm not so craven.
Really good quote there. If we must bear the tadpole's burdens, we should also avail ourselves of their power. Okay, this is going to be a hard DC, but I believe. Hell yeah.
Perhaps you... No, that's absurd. When the tadpole has stretched to every pore and slithered through every vein, what am I to do then? It won't hear my screams. It won't care if I beg. I will be remade in its image. My faith in Vlaakith will guide me, and my own might will sustain me. I have no need of this depraved power.
Fair. This call to the absolute is dangerous. We should take all the help we can get. I'm a living example of the tadpole's benefits, yeah? I'm a living example of the tadpole's benefits. I've never felt more powerful. Come on, 15. Hell yeah.
You might be right. The Githyanki have long studied Geich and used what we've learned. The Zaithisk itself was devised from such knowledge. The tadpole is perhaps not just a curse, but a weapon I can twist and mold to my advantage. Very well. I will swallow my disgust and avail myself of the parasite's powers.
Which I don't really care about, but, you know, it's cool to, like, convince her. Okay. Should we talk to everybody? Maybe we'll make this the talking episode. Let's at least talk to Volo.
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much.
Has your research turned up anything that might help with this parasite problem.
My research turned up a rather brilliant technique that seems quite actionable. It's not too deep, just behind the orbital socket. I could attempt an extraction. I've a needle in my tunic, after all.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'd rather get a second opinion.
You won't find a more learned opinion on this matter, I assure you.
Yeah, we're going to say no to that. I have done the saying yes to that.
You only have a matter of days to live. Don't dally, my friend.
It is interesting, to be sure, what happens. However, I choose not to. Let's talk to Shadowheart.
I don't think there'll be any more trouble between Lae'zel and I, if you were wondering. We can all sleep easier now. Well, apart from all the rest.
I'll be keeping an eye on both of you. I don't want a fight happening again.
Relax. We'll kiss and make up on our own time. Someone prodding at a newly opened wound doesn't help matters.
I want to talk about your Shah worship.
I'm sure you do. But please try to understand that it's not something I can just talk about freely.
You should trust me. We're in the same boat after all. Oh, nat 1. We got 3 inspiration. I'm feeling lucky. There we go.
Very well. Perhaps there's potential in you. Let's see how you handle this. I am indeed a disciple of Shah, Mistress of the Night and Lady of Loss. I assume you've heard of her?
Remind me.
My Lady Shah is the Night Singer, the patron of darkness and loss.
Fascinating. Please, continue.
Most fear the dark, like children, because in darkness they see their fears reflected. But Shah teaches us to step beyond fear, beyond loss. In darkness, we do not hide. We act. Pain, hope, the promise of better days. All of these are heavy cloaks that bend our backs and burden our hearts. We shed those cloaks. Before Shah, we stand gloriously naked, beyond the vanities of mortals.
When you put it like that, it seems strangely comforting.
There's comfort, yes. But often there has to be pain beforehand. We tear down the lies the world is drunk on. The institutions they trust, the so-called gods they worship, the lives they cling to. We destroy false idols, topple corrupt organizations, fight heretics wherever they're found. There's often suffering, death even. Many people break before they embrace Shah's truths.
It sounds evil.
Well, if that troubles you, perhaps you should fetch the bailiff to arrest me. Ah, but there's no bailiff here, is there? Just leagues of wilderness and the dangers lurking within. We're in this together, but I'll happily go it alone. My faith will keep me company.
Oh, I wanted to, like, it sounds evil, but like in a good way. Fine. I want to get to know you more, Shadowheart.
You already know my biggest secrets. What more can you ask?
What drew you to Shah worship?
She took me in when no one else would. Without her, I wouldn't be alive. She's my mother. She nurtures me, cares for me, loves me. Don't believe the lies the Selûnites tell.
Tell me something about yourself besides Shah. Besides tadpoles.
What? Besides my life's calling and the greatest problem I've ever faced? Well, I like night orchids and can't swim. Is that the sort of thing you meant?
That's lucky for a game that doesn't have swimming. You'll have to point out night orchids to me if we ever pass one.
It's a deal.
Anything else you'd care to share?
No, I can't. I mean, I literally can't. There's certain things I can't remember right now. Shah's secrets must be preserved above all else. All who worship her know this. I have had certain memories suppressed, voluntarily, so that I can serve Shah without compromising her. If I manage to return to Baldur's Gate and fulfill Shah's mission, then my memories will be restored.
Quite interesting. You've had your memories suppressed. That seems extreme.
Of course. It is an act of faith, not to be undertaken lightly. Shah will reward me when I succeed.
Tell me about your fear of wolves.
They're ravenous predators with fangs like daggers. It's hardly an irrational fear to harbor. You've been decent to me so far. Maybe if you can, don't make me face any more of them. At least, not alone.
Aww. I'll try to avoid wolves in the future, where possible.
Thank you. I had a feeling you'd be understanding.
I want to talk about all that's happened to us.
Fine. What's on your mind?
How am I holding up to your estimations?
Does it even need to be asked? We're beyond me merely liking you. I think I'm a different person, owing to you.
What do you think about what happened to the Druid Grove?
What's there to think about? Goblins spilled blood, but we survived. That's all that matters.
Turn to other matters. These illithid powers we're developing. What do you make of them?
On one hand, they seem useful. But on the other hand, or perhaps tentacle before long, we know where they're coming from. And what lies at the end of that path. I never expected ceramorphosis to be tempting. I think we should resist these powers. There's simply too many unknowns for us to risk it.
Ceramorphosis to be tempting? What are you talking about? The odds are stacked against us. Can we truly afford to ignore a potential advantage? Let's go. Yeah, baby.
Well, perhaps you have a point. Fine. Let's explore these powers then. I just hope we don't come to regret it.
We should journey... No, we should not. No, we should not. All right, let's, yeah, we're going to front load this episode with a bunch of dialogue, so hopefully y'all are down for that. Let's talk finally to Astarin.
I hear you did the deed. How was your little romp?
Could have been better.
Oh dear, it was a flop. How disappointing. I hope next time you'll have higher standards when it comes to playmates. But you're not here to gossip. What can I do for you?
Tell me about yourself.
What's to tell? I was sired by a vampire named Cazador. Everything before that is so long ago it's ancient history. And everything that came after, well, I'd rather not reflect on it.
You must remember your life before that.
I was a magistrate, working to keep the peace in Baldur's Gate, imprisoning troublemakers, that kind of thing. I can't remember much, truth be told. Centuries of torment will do that to you.
How were you turned?
I was attacked. A gang of vagrants, a tribe of wandering Gur, took issue with a ruling I'd made. They beat me to death's door when Cazador appeared. He chased them off and offered to save me, to give me eternal life. Given that my choices were eternal life or bleed to death on the street, I took him up on the offer. It was only afterwards I realized just how long eternity could be.
tell me about your history.
Why do you insist on exhuming the past? I was a slave. A vampire spawn. Kept by the Tsar family. Perhaps I still am. I was never able to resist their commands. But now, I've been conveniently lost. They won't ever control me again.
How does someone become a vampire, exactly?
It's simple. Just find a vampire that will drink your blood and turn you into a vampire spawn. Their obedient puppet. In theory, the next step is to drink their blood. Once you've done that, you're free. And a true vampire.
In theory.
People think the biggest threat to a vampire is a cleric with a stake. It's not. The biggest threat to a vampire is another vampire. They're scheming, paranoid, power-hungry beasts. So why would any vampire give up control over a spawn to create a competitor? Trust me, it doesn't happen.
So, about you biting me.
I've already apologized. What more do you want? Unless you're looking for another nibble.
Absolutely not.
Fine. As long as I don't have to go back to animal blood. It's muck. But now that you know what I am, I can fight with all my weapons. Teeth included. And if I happen to drain the occasional bandit, what's the harm?
Sounds good. Glad we could agree.
As am I. I'm starting to feel a little peckish already.
So, there's a monster hunter after you.
Not anymore. Which is all that matters, really.
But why was he hunting you? What did you do?
I didn't do anything. I was kidnapped, just like you. It seems Cazador wants me back.
And who is Cazador exactly?
Cazador Tsar is a vampire lord in Baldur's Gate. The patriarch of his coven, and a monster obsessed with power. He turned me nearly 200 years ago. I became his spawn. And he became my tormentor.
You sure Cazador's behind this?
It was him, I'm sure. Only he would know to send the Gur after me. It was a group of Gur that attacked me that night in Baldur's Gate. I would have died had Cazador not appeared and saved me.
Saved you by turning you into a vampire slave?
Well, he didn't mention the slave clause at the time. And now he sends a Gur monster hunter for me. It's a message. He's reminding me of his power. Even in the middle of nowhere, he can reach me. And he wants me back.
But why capture you? Why not just kill you?
Maybe he wants to make an example of me, to show what happens to runaways. Or maybe he thinks death is too good for me.
Sounds like he won't let you go easily. Should I be concerned?
Concerned? Do you know the power a vampire lord possesses? He can change shape, turn into mist, call walls to do his bidding, shrug off blows like they're nothing. He could walk into our camp tonight and kill you with his bare hands. And you'd be lucky if death was the worst thing that happened to you.
Vampires aren't invincible. We could take him.
You don't understand. You don't know him. Just trust me when I say we need to be careful. He'll send more lackeys. He has plenty of souls to command. We just have to be vigilant, keep our wits about us, and kill any monster hunters on sight.
What do you think is waiting for us at Moonrise Towers?
Who knows? Drow? Mind flayers? Death? Hopefully not ours. But maybe answers. If we can convince the right people to talk.
What do you make of Raphael's deal?
I won't lie. It's tempting. If I keep the tadpole, I risk transforming into a grotesque monster. If I lose the tadpole, Cazador has control of me, body and soul, and I return to the shadows. It's grim either way. So why not sell what's left of my soul to a devil? Better he has it than Cazador.
I understand the appeal.
I'm glad to hear it. Whatever's coming, we need to keep our options open.
Okay. Oh boy, and there we go. We've talked to everybody completely, as far as I know. The remaining people in the party. Yeah, I'm thinking we'll make this a short little tiny episode. We'll make this just a dialogue episode, which I know is going to upset some people, but honestly, I could use a break from this series. It's been a while. I could use a little refresher. So hopefully you have enjoyed the lustrous dialogue that this game has to offer, and we'll get back to like a big full episode in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to support, check out the Patreon, links in the description below. You can also like the video and leave comments, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.